Okay, good morning. I've been working on the next Tangle Town, which is Saturday. I have to look at my calendar because the 21st. So Tangle Town travels, and we're going to go to New York City in the style of James Rizzi, R-I-Z-Z-I, and it's going to be a lot of fun. He did some really cool stuff, so I've been practicing, and this is probably will be finished today, and I'll put up the ad, and so that if you want to come, you can come, and it's just going to be, it's just playful fun. That's all it is. Nothing serious. We have enough serious going on. We don't need extra. Okay, so we're going to start just by coming into where we are now, into our bodies, sitting down into your chair. You can close your eyes if you want to. I'm going to show you a little technique here. Once I put all my crayons away. There's something that I've known for years. I've learned many years ago from a gal, and I can't remember her name, but she showed it to me when I was at a painting retreat, and her brother was a teacher. He's a very, very good watercolorist, excellent in fact, but he talked a lot, like a lot. So I'd have to go out in the kitchen where she was making the meals and talk to her or just take a breath. So anyway, we got to talking, and she told me about Jin Shin Jitsu, and it's a Japanese acupressure technique, and you still use it. So that was like 20 years ago. She showed me. I bought about 2 or 3 little books from her, which you can buy online. A lot of people just call it Jinshin, Jinshin. So this one is for the diaphragm, which is our breathing mechanism. And so all you do is you put your thumb there gently, and you can put your hands in your lap if you'd like, or on top of a table, and you breathe in and out 36 times. 36 apparently is a magic number. I don't know why, but it is. So while you're doing that, you do that for 36 times. My sister sends poems, my eldest sister, to us each day ever since March. And I like this one, and I thought I'd share it with you. Where does the dance begin? Where does it end? By Mary Oliver. Don't call this world adorable or useful. That's not it. It's frisky and a theater for more than fair winds. The eyelash of lightning is neither good nor evil. The struck tree burns like a pillar of gold. But the blue rain sinks straight to the white feet of the trees, whose mouths open. Doesn't the wind, turning in circles, invent the dance? Haven't the flowers moved slowly across Asia, then Europe, until at last now they shine in your own yard? Don't call this world an explanation or even an education. When the Sufi poet whirled, was he looking outward to the mountains so solidly where a white-capped ring? Or was he looking to the center of everything, the seed, the egg, the idea that was also there, beautiful as a thumb, curved and touching the finger tenderly, little love ring, as he whirled, O jug of breath, in the garden of dust. So with that, we're going to start. And this idea came from my friend who also lives in British Columbia, in Surrey, BC, Margaret Bremner. If you don't know her, her blog is called The Enthusiastic Artist, and it's worth looking at. And so I'm going to move this stuff aside. I'm going to be using a big piece of paper, a bigger piece of paper, a Strathmore artist tile. And just because it's larger so that you can see, but you can use any type of drawing paper today. You can use also the Zentangle tiles if you wish. And you doesn't have to be the square kind. It can be the round kind, it can be a different color, whatever you'd like to do. I want to stress that you do not have to do exactly what I'm doing. And I'm giving you ideas. If you want to do it different, tangle with something, you go right ahead and do something different. It's okay to be different. I'm just going to put a piece of tape here. We'll just tilt this up a little bit so you can see better. It's actually kind of bright in here with the sun. Well, it's not really sun, with the cloudy sun reflecting off the snow, hitting my eyeballs, but I'll make do. So sit in your chair with your feet flat and put a thumb in each corner if you wish to have a border. If you don't wish to have a border, don't do this part. And just put a dot in each corner as we start with your pencil. Make the lines roughly. Okay, I'm gonna have a second here. Okay, so for some reason, there we go. So I just had to do a little bit of dipsy doodle in there on the computer. I'm just going to do, my line is kind of funny coming down, but that's okay. Okay, so this one uses Hollabah as a string. And as I said before, I really like using a tangle as a string. Okay. And let's make sure I'm not muted anymore. We're good. All right. So the next part you could do with a pen, and I'm going to do mine with a pen. And I'm going to start by my Hollabah going sort of across here. Oh, great. My pen is running out of ink already. Just a sec while I squirt around for a new one. What fun. So I'm using a Tombow pen, Tombow mono pen, but any fine tipped pen will do. You can use black, you can use any color that you think is good. So then I'm going to do the sort of this groovy line beside it. They don't have to be perfectly straight across or perfectly the same distance from each other. They can be flared out, they can be wiggly, whatever you feel like today. If you feel wiggly, draw wiggly. And then I'm going to have another line come down here, another Hollabah, and then fly over and pick it up. And another one there, like that. And then another one over here, I think. So I'm just doing 3 because you want to have room for, or 3 sets, I guess. You want to have room for tangling in between. And I'm just going to go over this line because it skipped quite a bit. Oops. All right. So that's the basic idea here. And then what we're going to do around the background of this, in these spots, is rain, the tangle rain. And they're going to join each other here and there. So I'm going to start in this corner, and I'm going to do a curvy line that bisects and goes through those spaces. Maybe one coming off of it like a branch. And suppose you've got some more, you might want to bring some more in here. And it can end that way. They don't have to go all the way across, of course. Okay, so once you've got your lines drawn, then this is where the zigzagging comes in, the up and down that we're experiencing right now, lots of ups and downs and ins and outs. So thank goodness we've got art making to keep us grounded, to keep us going, to keep our interests peaked. Okay, so over that, we're going to do these zigzag lines. And then in the air, I'm going to do this one, have it come down. I'm going to pick up that line over here and just carry on. And I'm going to do each one of these tendrils in this line. It's interesting, you know, how much we have in common with people. I was thinking this morning about a retreat that I taught at 2 summers ago. It was interesting because I was teaching with people that I had been to the same retreat center as a student 40 years previously. And so now we all were professionals doing our different things, presenting, there's 4 of us presenting tools for transition. And one of the tools that we did as an icebreaker, which was really cool, I thought, was that people were asked to write on a piece of paper, a large one, something that nobody else would probably know about them. One of them said she stole a car, which was pretty astounding, but it turned out to be her parents' car, and they did call the cops on her. So that it was kind of funny, but what the similarities that was neat. And then we went into breakout groups and talked about these experiences, these stories that we carry, that we all have in common. And it was just a great way to get to know one another. And I would recommend that anytime you're in a group to try to do something like that. What is it that nobody knows about you? To get people to talk to one another. It was really quite astounding. Okay, so then we've got all these choices now. We could make them all blacked in the same, or we could do them differently. I'm going to do this one maybe a little differently. I'm going to maybe do a little bit of tipple in here, just little circles. Is anything in there that you know, hey, this needs something. I want to have horizontal, vertical, diagonal lines in here. I want to do something, but I find tipple really slows me down. When I started Tangle 10 or so years ago, I don't know, it's a while ago, time just flies. I found that circles were really monotonous and I hated doing them. I really did. Like, oh, until I started doing them more, and then I realized it really forced me to slow down, and that's probably why I hated it so much. It's because it really forced me to go slower. Then I'm going to restate these little lines here. I'm going to go over them again. And then, so that was, it was my resistance to slowing down. I had this big resistance about it. Just wanted to keep going. Out of my way, I'm coming through. Okay, and then I'm going to aura around that line, these lines. I really like green. I think I like green because it has such a lovely quality. It reminds me of Navajo weaving. Um, Years ago, I took a class in Vermont from two Navajo ladies on Navajo weaving, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed it, and had a little Navajo loom. It took me forever to make a little tiny rug, and I don't think I ever actually finished it. And I realized that it just wasn't for me the way kind of weaving that I like to do, but it certainly is one that I really admired. Then I'm going to go do that aura again. Okay, and then the next one, so anyone that you're picking, just pick anyone you'd like to do that's comfortable to you to do. And I'm going to do another triangle inside these triangles. And if you want, you can color those in with a marker or a pencil, colored pencil, or leave them blank, or make them darken them in with your pen. It's your choice how you want to do it. So I think I will. I'm going to black these ones in. And just getting on that subject of breaking ice with people, my husband and I went to a party. Remember those house parties? Huh, that was fun. A couple of summers ago. And there was a couple there that were really, you could tell they were used to going to parties and used to sort of getting people together, and they just knew what to say and do. They were real social, really social people. And the husband asked everybody, we were sitting at a table having ribs or something like that. It was a barbecue. And he asked everybody what their worst job that they'd ever done. What was their worst job? And that brought out so many incredible stories. It was really neat. And the most surprising thing was that my husband told these people and myself as well, about a job he had in high school one summer cleaning out sewers. And I never even knew that. We've been married for 33 years. And I'm still finding out stuff. It was kind of wild. It's like, wow. Hidden depths. I had no idea that you used to do that. So if you want to send me a chat or to chat to everybody with your worst job this morning, go right ahead and put it in the chat and we will all get it. Be astounded. And I'm going to do, I love these little dots that you can do off. That's your standard rain is then to do these dots that are off the point of each one. I like to go around and do some dots here. Just variations on the theme. That's what we're doing today. It's just really fun to take one tangle as an exercise and what can I do with it? How can I make it different? What can I do to experiment with it? What can I change? Often in my artwork, I'm answering the simple question, what if I did this? What if I did this? What if I changed this? What if I changed this line? Made something a little different. You know, on the halaba, you could also do, you know, small circles, or you could do Knightsbridge in there, any kind of design on there, or tangle on there as well, if you'd like. I invite you to do that. To experiment and have fun. So this one, I think we're going to do some diagonal lines here. Oops, missed a spot. Go back. Again, we're just going to aura this, or sorry, go over this line again with the zigzags. As we go through the ups and downs of life over and over again. sometimes we get better at it too. So I'm leaving mine quite open because I want to color it. I want to get in there with some markers like really badly and add some color to this when after we're done doing it together. But I'll also give you some shading options. Oh boy. So Arlene wrote, using pages from the phone book to solicit subscriptions to the Montreal Gazette. Was paid by the subscription. Worked one day and did not return to collect the commission. Horrible. Yeah, I can see that would be pretty bad. That would be a terrible job. Oh my goodness. Wow. At least you got out early, Arlene. I believe in that. Things are bad. Get out now. Get out quick. Make it fast. Then this one I'm going to aura really large around it. Make it really big. Sorry, more space, not large so much as more space between the original design and this bit. Oh, I forgot to do this part down here. I got distracted by a chime in my ear and I forgot to come back to this one. So easy to get distracted. That's the sort of like the buzzword in our house. Is I got distracted. Because it happens all the time. Oh, did you shut that door? Oh no, I got distracted. I forgot. Okay, so in here, in this space, I'm just going to do here, I'm just going to do the tips of these little triangles like mountaintops. And then in this space, I'm going to do little circles, little orbs. Keep going with my orb theme here. When all else fails, draw an orb. That's my motto. So I can see, I do a reminder to you to try to sit up straight. I know I'm just sort of tilting to the side here so I can see under my pen better. So I'm reminding myself not to do that. Try to sit straight in your chair if you can. I'm just going to restate these lines here too, because I'm kind of getting lost in all those little orbs in orb world. So I have a very good friend who lives here, and we were pouting to each other because I haven't been able to travel, but we haven't traveled since last November, and sort of boohooing to each other. And she had plans. She was going to a training um, in California for a week, and then going to spend 3 weeks in Hawaii with her friend who lives there. And she had, you know, the passage all booked, and it was supposed to be this week, and she was feeling kind of down about it. And so we commiserated our lack of travel experience at this present time. And then I thought, well, you know, I'm thinking about all those people that miss going to the beach, including me, you know, and miss having their feet in the sand. And especially here, we have all these snowbirds that go down south. Some of them are still going. Some of them are going to Mexico, and as long as they fly, they can go down to Arizona and Florida and whatnot. So I thought, well, if you took a heating pad and you took a box and you put a bunch of sand in the box and you put the heating pad on the bottom and heated up the sand and you stuck your bare feet in, and then maybe you could play some Hawaiian music or something and have a refreshing adult beverage like a pina colada, maybe you could sort of bring back that beachy feeling. And so we kind of invented a new thing. Don't know what to call it, but it would be fun. So come January, it might just happen around here. So this is this one. Give you an idea. I really like this one. Ooh, I'm easily entertained. Okay, so this one here, what to do. So I think I'll just continue on this line here. Now what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to start this aura narrow, and I'm going to get fatter and fatter until I can't go anymore. So it's getting a little fatter. Let's see what to do a better job on this side. So I'm starting out quite narrow. Oh, and then we get fatter, fatter, fatter. Then we're going to restate these guys. This initial zigzag here. I'm really making this up as I go along because I haven't practiced this lesson before. But that's what Zentangle is all about, right? You invite play, you invite invention by not really having a big plan. That's how it happens. And willing to go where it goes, where it leads you. Where is your creativity leading you today? What does it want to do? So I think I'm going to just do little triangles here. See that? So it's right on the line right there. So we live in a snow belt. We didn't know that. We didn't know that when we moved here, that it was a fog belt and a snow belt. And the town used to be called Whitevale. We found that out. And we found out why. Whitevale because it was foggy in the wintertime, and white because it's snow with fog in the wintertime. And we also are between two ski resorts, one to the north and one to the south. And we get on this ridge of snow. So we can get an awful lot of snow in the wintertime. Luckily, we both ski and snowshoe and get out there and enjoy it as much as we can. Okay, so in here, what do I want to do? I think I want to do Kiko, and I'm just going to show you. That's my grocery list. That's not a good one to do it on. How about this? So Kiko, if you're not familiar, or Keiko, I don't know how to say it, is cross-hatching basically. Lines going this way, so I'm doing 4 lines this way and then 4 lines this way, and it could be 2 lines, it could be 3 lines, it could be 5 lines. There's no set number of lines. Oh, it's 5 that way. Oh, this happened. Go with the flow, even when it's zigzaggy. So then we'll put that in this space here. Start out here. like I said, the next Tangletown Travels is going to New York on the 17th of November, not 21st of November at 10 a.m. Pacific, if you're interested. And I was thinking about our trip there. We didn't stay long. We were just, it was a stopover on our flight to Europe. And so we stayed sort of outside the city. And we had a taxi driver that picked us up at the airport, a yellow cab. Told him where we wanted to go. Yeah, no problem. And he was talking on his cell phone pretty much the whole time. You could tell he was kind of getting directions. And so we're going down the freeway. Luckily, it wasn't too busy. And we see that he's gone right by the hotel. And so my husband yells out, "There's the hotel. You went right by it." Well, he slams on the brakes. Honest to goodness. He slammed on the brakes and he backed up to the exit. And I don't know how we survived it. It's just there was nobody coming. Oh, man. Anyway, that was an experience I've never forgotten. Pretty kind of funny. I'm laughing now. I was kind of freaked out when it happened. So it gets kind of tight in here doing it this way. So we're just going to do little lines here. Okay, we'll start this one on this side. Sorry, I didn't mean to hum in your ear. Happy little tangle hum. Turn my tile so that it's comfortable. I forget to do that sometimes. So we get going and get into a rhythm. It's like, oh yeah, I can turn my paper. Right. Well, that's kind of neat one. Like that one. I've got my final little bit over here. What to do? I'm going to do these little stripes here. So section these off and then black in right there. You see that's give it a little stripiness. Where I can. You can do yours, all the same. If you don't like to mix and match today, you're not in a mix and match kind of mood, that's okay. But I'm just getting excited because I'm thinking, markers here and there, and then in the background these white areas, some colored pencils or shading to bring it all together. Back over this line here. So really, you can leave it as it is. You can add more tangles to a holaba, which I want to do. Show you that. It's very open, so there's lots of ideas for play here. So I'm just going to, so we have a few more minutes here, I'm just going to pick this center bit of holaba, and I'm going to aura this upper line. And this lower line. And then I want it to be quite an impact. So I'm going to do nice bridge in here. So I'm going to section these off. It doesn't have to be straight, you can make them wavy. Into the center. Starting to get them too close together there, so I'm going to bring them back apart here. And I always like to do when I'm doing this too is ask myself, am I breathing? And where am I breathing? Am I breathing in my shoulders? Can I bring my breath down to my belly? So I'm breathing more with my whole body. And then I'm going to do another line coming out this way and carry on, and then I'll reach over there. Another line this way, bisecting all those lines. Oops, and go that way. And you can do nice bridge any way you want. You don't have to do the black and white checker, and it doesn't have to be alternating one white, one black. It can be 3 black, 1 white. It can be horizontal, diagonal, or cross-hatching for the darker areas. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. So I'm going to put a dot where I want the black to be, so it's going to be the alternating one. So I remember. Otherwise, I might get confused. But that's okay. If that happens, I'll just go with it. As we know, resistance can be futile. So I got a little problem there developing. So what I'm going to do is add another line in here. Oop. And now it works. There, I know where I'm going to go with it. And I'm going to take a slightly thicker nib pen. What do I have here in my little I've got an 05, a Micron Sakura Micron 05. We'll puddle this black in. I'll carry right along. To save time, I'm going to use my brush pen. So I do have Sakura brush pens, but I also have pit pens. I really like pit pens. So this one is a medium, they call it, so it's probably like an 08. And this is a brush pen, so I'm going to use that one because it's a little faster. Oh, it can be a little hard to get in the little spaces here. So we tend to always keep the same pen with Tangle, but you can mix and match and try different line widths with different pens. That'll work like that. I'll just show you a little shading before we end today. So you can shade. I'm going to shade around these open spaces. I'm just going to take my pencil and go around the edge. So I've got a 2B pencil, which is softer than an HB, but I like it for shading because it is a little softer, a little darker. So I would recommend that you go to the store, if you can, or online, and you get a set of different hardnesses and softnesses of pencil and try them out. Pencils are wonderfully inexpensive. So maybe you'll find one that's not HB that you really like for shading. When I was taught classical drawing, we use for shading, we use the different pencils to bring in gradients of things. So there's an idea there. And you could also, shade right in your rain, right in the middle, down the middle here. So lots of things to try. So I'm going to stop the recording and I want to thank anybody who's watching the recording for watching and joining us today.